Hey guys, my name is Georgette Truin. I am the host of Fight CPS Real Talk with Miss G, and I also work for attorney Vincent Davis. We had a guest today, but I guess she was having problems with her connection and she was not able to make it today. But I do want to discuss the following with you guys. If CPS can turn against, if CPS, okay, let me put it to you that way. If CPS can turn against an attorney that's defending a mother, meaning go like CPS takes attorneys' kids in retaliation for defending mothers. For example, there's an attorney that's fighting her case. If they can do that to attorneys, they will do that to you. So I like I said, I get so many calls from people who actually think they're good parents and CPS is not going to hurt them. Recently, I got a call from a foster mom, and the foster mom has a child placed with her, a little girl who she bonded, like I think she said 18 months or 24 months with that baby, with that child. But then all of a sudden, what happens is when you guys force you guys to be a foster parent, you're going to be under their control, under their command. So that foster mom thought that she was helping. She was actually helping, but at the same token, they asked her, do you want to be a foster parent for placement or you want to be a foster parent for adoption? So she said, well, it would be nice to adopt, right? Because they don't have any kids. So she adopted the little girl. Then all of a sudden, they bring her another child that she has no idea about. And that kid is older, somewhat older, maybe 6 years old. And that kid is learned behavior, sexual behavior that's not suitable for anyone, actually. And she was terrified because she's like, well, how do you handle this? So when she went for help, when she contacted the workers for help and the child's attorney for help, they retaliated against her worse because she asked for help. How many of us, how many of you guys out there that actually went to social workers for help because you have a special need child or you have an out of control child? They literally went against her and removing the little girl who already bonded with her and already telling her with a coldness in their heart is that they already found a suitable placement. That little girl is so attached to her. When I was talking to her on the phone last night, that little girl was crying, crying, crying. So the husband couldn't, her husband couldn't, calm her down. She ran to her foster mom and she held her and she stopped crying. Kids need comfort. They need love. You strip the child away from her mother, which I'm sure her mother is loving. Put her in another home. She gets attached to a person in that home, a woman or a mother figure, then she is removed from that home and put somewhere else because the state, the county don't agree with the foster mom's concern. The foster mom learned a lot from me last night. She actually didn't know half of the crap existed. They will talk crap to the foster parents about the actual parent of the child. If you have an attorney, a good attorney, not the court appointed ones, a good attorney, you need to address it to your attorney immediately. You need to let your attorney know about the smear campaign against you on the false. Literally, they're smear campaigning your name to make you look so bad to the foster mom, so that foster mom is not in connection with you. Let me tell you why they don't want the foster parents in connection with you. And some foster parents believe it. Hold that thought, guys. Sorry, guys, that was my child. Um, the reason they don't want the foster parents to even know anything good about the parents is this is why. They want that foster parent to go against you. It's kind of like a narcissistic sociopathic cult. Okay. And boy, do I know a lot about narcissism lately. It's a cult. They want to smear campaign the good person in you so they can stop you from sharing information with the other person, right? They want you guys to be separated so that way you don't know what they're saying about you to them and what they're saying about you to others. So they will divide. Dividing is to conquer. Remember that. So, what a narcissist and a sociopath does is that he or she will stop any type of compassion or any type of communication, and they want to make sure that that foster home or that foster parent is going to help them set the mother or father up to fail. I hope I'm making sense. I hope to God I'm making sense. But that's what happens. Oftentimes we blame the foster home, but the foster home is clueless. I'm being honest. They actually think they're doing the right thing for the benefit of the child. If that foster home, for instance, has the same concern as the parent, which one I was talking to yesterday, very loving foster mom, she said, I'm concerned about him or I'm concerned about her. All I did is I just needed help for them. If you raise concern just like the foster parent, I mean the actual parent, they will go against the foster parent. Like I said, they don't discriminate. A narcissist doesn't discriminate. He or she will use whoever will benefit them. If you have an attorney, like I said, please address that to your attorney. Make sure that you address anything the foster mom tells you. Do not communicate with anyone in person or verbally. Make sure everything is written communication that makes sense. Make sure you check your typos. Make sure that, like I said the other day, last week, I believe, I can't remember when, but I said to you guys to make sure that when you save a social worker's information, make sure you have her name on the bottom, but her phone number shows on the first line where it says name. The second line where it says last name, put the full name of the social worker and her title. That is very important. Have to keep evidence. When they go against you hard, the social worker already got word from the supervisor to basically to expedite the moving orders. When they expedite the moving orders is because they want to get this over with and they want to make money from your children, off of your kids. 92% of children are adopted out. You guys don't know this, but 92% of children are adopted out. This is a fact. They did a study on this. So that's why social workers, they abuse their powers, retaliation to those who fight back. So that's what happened to the foster mom. She didn't fight back. She was just concerned about the child. They fought against her. So they became after her. They retaliated against her, not seeing how the child already bonded with her. No, 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 no. How dare she be concerned? She has no right to be concerned about a child. We run the show, not her. It's our doing, not her. We tell her what to do. Same thing. Go against the foster, you go against the parent, same thing. Same thing. The state makes extra money for the state from the federal government for adoption. Incentives are so humongous. So there's like special order There's a special order for children to be sold. Okay, there's a special order for that. All of it can start with domestic violence. I have received so many calls of domestic violence, verbal domestic violence. Today I have not received any calls about physical domestic violence. All of them were verbal. Verbal. Verbal should not be a domestic violence. If you have a verbal agreement, it's really sad how somebody would call and say it's a domestic violence. Domestic violence is when it becomes threatening and physical harm. Verbal disagreement is verbal disagreement. I can have a verbal disagreement with you today, right? I cannot assume or say it's a domestic violence. Domestic violence to me is more like threatening. They have a gun, they threaten to kill you, or, you know, they harmed you physically, whatever. But verbal disagreement means the following: I disagree with you. I'm not taking the trash out today because it's your turn. Verbal disagreement. But then it's so weird how the police always puts it down as a domestic violence. You guys have to pay attention to that. There's a difference between the two. Oftentimes people think it's their first offense. The police never was called before all that. The calls that I got today, the police was never called by either one parent. The police was called by family members, meaning you're venting out with your sister and say, you know what, Mark didn't want to take the trash out today. I'm getting sick of him. I'm getting tired. I have to care the baby and blah, blah, blah. And then the sister's like, oh my God, he is abusing her. I need to call the police. The sister calls the police gets involved. The baby is removed. Domestic violence is indicated on paper. I should make this show every day, the shows every day, to be about relatives. Because I feel it seems, based on the calls I'm getting, is that relatives are always involved, making calls, thinking they're protecting their sister or their brother or whatever, with just a verbal disagreement, for God's sakes. Again, the police, when the police is involved, the children are involved, because the police will see that you have minor kids and automatically reports it to CPS. I don't know why the police reports it to CPS if it's not a domestic violence that has threats involved or guns involved or a physical abuse involved. I don't get it. But if the mother tells the police it was a disagreement and I was telling my sister about it because he didn't take out the trash and I'm tired, or whatever the case may be, my question to the police officers is, why would you indicate it on paper as a domestic violence? If that happens to either one of you guys out there watching this show, the first step you're going to do is this: get a copy of the police report immediately. Make sure that you have the badge number of the officer that made the report, the badge number and the name. Make sure that you have the time they arrived correctly. Make sure that you have the date written down. Make sure to lawyer up. And make sure you get a phone record of some sort when you were calling your sister complaining about your husband not taking out the trash and you're venting out to her. Okay? Make sure that also your sister has discloses a statement, meaning every time you have somebody disclosing a statement based on what happened that day, make sure that they sign it underneath in penalty of perjury. When they sign the penalty of perjury and when they indicate the penalty of perjury underneath, make sure next to the penalty of perjury they indicate the date. The date. February 29th, 2024. Davis said that's important, to always indicate the date. Indicate the date again when that person signs the document, and next to the signature, always indicate the date again, February 29th, 2024. there's a lot of legalities, right, that people don't understand. Normal person doesn't understand. I know a lot because Davis, I dealt with Davis, and he would tell me, okay, you need to do it that way, not this way, and all that, right? So I'm sharing this with you guys so that way you guys can collect the right evidence, the right witnesses, right? When you have a document, when somebody says, you know what, I witnessed this, I can be a witness for you because that's not what happened, then they would have to write it. They would have to write their statement down. Make sure penalty of perjury. Again, I'm going to repeat where it says penalty of perjury towards the end of their statement. Make sure next to it the date is written. Penalty of perjury, date. Signature, date. So you have to do it twice. That is very important. If you're in retaliation with, sorry, I take that back. If your landlord is retaliating against you, and then all of the sudden wants you out, and he or she knows that it's against the law to evict you for whatever reason that comes into their head, and they know you have children and they report you to the police, do not, and I repeat, do not lose your mind. You need to be calm. You need to say less facts, meaning you state your point to the police. I'm not sure why so and so called you guys. However, I am aware that we are going through an eviction matter with this landlord, and it saddens me that she had to go that way to try to get us evicted. However, we are addressing the matter currently, and see how it sounds like. So it's kind of, you're making it where you're the level-headed one, and the other person is literally retaliating against you because he or she wants to accomplish a task, is to get you guys removed. Okay, it's how we handle ourselves in front of our enemy that counts. When you start saying that bitch is doing all this because she's a terrible person and I hate her, I do this for her, I clean my place, I make sure the stairway is spotless all the time. The police doesn't care about any of that. The police sees your actions kind of like weird. Again, we have to learn how to handle our enemies better, because nothing good will come from reacting to abuse. And I learned that the hard way. You have to be smart about it. Document everything. Facts are the truth. Even if your enemy says that your facts are lies, well, that person has what? Has to prove that you're lying. So we can't wear our emotions on our sleeves, because your emotions will get you in deep shit that you don't want to be in. There's a lot of enemies around us. And like I said earlier, the enemy will always divide, because that enemy doesn't want anyone to know what the truth is. That's why the social workers will talk shit about you to the foster parent, and then they will come to you, the parent, talk shit about the foster parent to you. Then they will go tell the foster parent, don't talk to the parent. Then they will go to you and say, don't talk to the foster parent. Why? Because they don't want you guys to know what that enemy is sharing with them about you, one another. That's why I call the system, Child Protective Services, sociopathic narcissistic system. There is nothing good about this type of behavior, whether it's personal or whether it's business. Because oftentimes you would try to focus on exposing the lies to the perpetrator, who is the narcissist or the sociopath or both. And that person will never admit to their wrongs. They will make you question your own reality, and that will gaslight you. All of that is to gaslight you and to get you reacting towards their bullshit. They create bullshit, and then you react towards the bullshit, and then blame you for reacting towards their bullshit. It's very easy. Don't react to your enemy. You state the truth, and without any emotions involved. You have to learn how to remove emotions when you are dealing with conflict, because your children will pay the price. I know it's hard, believe me. Hey, I'm work in progress. I'm speaking to you guys now, but before I wasn't like that. I would lose my mind if someone lied about me. I would literally lose my mind. I would call them every name in the book. But now I know better. And when you know better, you function better and you protect your family. Also, another warning: do not tell the social worker you hired our office if you did not hire our office. One person said that to the social workers. They called us immediately to ask if we are representing this person. And I said, no, we're not representing this person. Who am I speaking to? When this person disclosed who they are, I said, no, ma'am, we're not representing this person. And I'm sorry. That looks so bad when you say you hired our office and you didn't hire our office. It's so bad when I have to reply back to an email, even saying, no, we're not representing this person. It backfires on you because now they have more dirt about you that you don't want to add to the list of dirt that they have already about you. You're dealing with a very dangerous cult of narcissism. They know what they're doing, believe me. They will make you question your reality and divide you and smear campaign you to everyone. So you need to be smarter than them. You need to learn and work on yourself right now. Work on yourself right now and learn how to handle conflicts. This is so important, you guys. It took me, man, before I faced trauma, let me explain something about me. Before I was forced to face trauma, I was never, like, in our household, I never said in front of our parents the word shut up. And that's the God honest truth. You never ever say curse words in front of your parents if you're Middle Eastern. Okay? We learn respect. We learn to respect God and respect our parents, right? Respect ourselves as well. You know, I lost my parents when they passed away, and I felt that was the worst pain there could ever be in the world. Losing your loved ones, meaning they were my world. My parents were my world. I thought it was the end. That was it. I won't be able to recover. Then all of a sudden, I faced a different trauma, and that different trauma was a life sentence of one bad decision. Marrying the wrong person, having kids with the wrong person. That's what I'm talking about. Then the children are involved because that person has connection with a district attorney, and that district attorney has connection with a judge in juvenile court in LA County, for example. And then all of a sudden, your whole world is crumbled, and you become this person that you don't know who it is. This is not who you are. This is what the trauma created, this new person. You start crying, you start saying, but I'm innocent. And the whole time you're defending yourself because a narcissist that you married smear campaigned you to everyone. And a narcissist is so convincing when they lie, people automatically is drawn to that, meaning they're so calm. They sound so intelligent and so smart. And people are usually drawn to that, right? And I always tell people this: if you're dealing with a narcissistic and you're dealing with a narcissistic system, they like each other. Okay? They automatically like each other because they will always side with the abuser. And I say this a lot. You guys, I have never felt pain until that happened to me. And when I say pain, that's when I felt my heart disconnected from my body and it was placed somewhere else in Never Never Land. I had to learn throughout the years that my actions, even though it was valid, needed to be changed. So what God did, he put another narcissist in my life. Not a partner, but another one. An acquaintance. And God said, okay, I'm going to work on you with this person. And I'm going to work on you to be able to handle yourself with this person. So that way, when other conflicts arise, you know better. That's how God operates. I'm not joking. So I learned. It took me 6 years, but I learned. I learned how to keep good evidence. I learned how to keep literally facts. Facts in a way where there is absolutely no way in hell that person will get away with what he or she doing. Because oftentimes we deal with them bomb loving you, just like a social worker would come to your home and say, your home is great. Your home is awesome. Blah, 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 blah. And some of them will send you like a heart emoji. Oh, you're the best. I told my supervisor you're the best, and we're gonna close the case. All of a sudden they come to your house with a couple of police officers snatching your child away from you. Same exact behavior. If you dealing with a narcissist in your personal life, they will bombshell you, they will bomb loving you, like they will send you emojis, you're the best, you're this, you're everything, you're this, you're that, you're that. Well, all along it was just a setup because they're doing it to everyone else who are victims. Same thing with the social workers, doing the same exact thing. I recommend, me personally, for everyone to study psychology, to really learn about how a narcissist behaves. Because narcissists will smear campaign you when they know they were caught. When they know you know about them, that's when they smear campaign your name to everyone else because they don't want people to know. But oftentimes I learned in my ordeal right now is that it's not about you hurting them for hurting you. It's about them teaching you something, right? It's about them teaching you something that you will take a long way throughout your life. How to deal with them. You need to be assertive. Same thing with social workers. Do not buddy buddy with them. Do not send them emojis back. Do not. A narcissist will never, ever care about if you're a good parent or not, or if you're a good employee or not, or if you're a good person or not. All they care about is you doing what they want you to do without any questions to them, meaning they do not like to be questioned. But a narcissist, I always say a narcissist is always their shortcomings. They have shortcomings. Why? Because they retaliate against the one person that is loyal to them. And then they try to move on to the next victim, making them a mimic image of that one person they're retaliating against. Same thing with parents. They will move from one parent to the next, doing the same exact tactics. I call that sadistic. That is some sadistic shit that they do. Sadistic. They're sadistic. All they want to do is divide. DL said CYS has no morals or ethics. I always thought CYS wanted that kids with the parents, especially if it wasn't any abuse. I was wrong. God bless you, DL. I don't know who you are, but God bless you for saying that. DL also added, I was married for 21 years to a dark, triad covered, malignant narcissist. Hmm. Sometimes you work with them too, sweetheart, who specialized in gaslighting, and I was trauma bonded and had Stockholm syndrome. I know all about abuse. Caroline said, right. Narcissism exists everywhere. They're in corporate America. They're everywhere. They're even in McDonald's, right? They're everywhere. We have to learn how to handle them though. Because when they're in high places like that, I always think to myself, when they act like they have no, how can I say it? You say it in a nicer way. When they feel that the rules don't apply to them, that's when your ass needs to run. Or that's when your butt needs to call an attorney immediately. But not a family law attorney. I keep telling you guys this. Make sure that attorney is CPS defense attorney. Make sure that attorney is also like a narcissistic attorney in a way where a narcissist will always know how to fight another narcissist in court. Or make sure that attorney understands what a narcissist is. Because there's different tactics that these attorneys know on how to win that we don't know. I mean, it took me 6 years to learn how to handle a little bit of a narcissist. I haven't finished mastering the whole part of that person yet. But I see I'm very persistent. I don't give up. I just keep learning. And then I reflect back on my mistakes and I don't want to do it again. So now it's kind of like a challenge for me now. My loyalty is still there because when you're loyal to something that you're passionate about. You're not so much loyal to that person, but you're loyal to something you're passionate about, whether it's your kids or your job or your school, whatever it is. You're loyal to that part, but you need to learn how to control your emotions because these people will strive on stealing the joy from you. You know why? Because a cult of narcissistic people gain control and power from you when you react to them. Oftentimes, the social worker will say to you, I don't know what's going on. I told my supervisor, but now I'm not on the case, and I don't know what's going to happen. They removed me from the case. Don't believe that shit. The social workers have the fake nice and the bitch from hell. So don't confuse the two. They're the same. Don't confuse nice to think it's nice. It's not. They say this to everyone. And I swear, as God is my witness, I hear this from everyone I speak with. Miss G, the social worker told my mom that I said this about her. But Miss G, I never said this to my mom, and now my mom doesn't want to talk to me. And then the mom tells her daughter, the social worker told her things that her daughter said, and then comes to her daughter and say things that her mom said to her. This is what narcissistic people do. Whether you work with these assholes, or you go to school with them, or you live with them, right? They do the same shit over and over and over and over and over again. They don't stop because that's how you feed their control. Every time you react, they control you. Every time you depended on them, they control you. Same thing with child protective services. Same exact sadistic tactics they use. A narcissist will never appreciate your loyalty. Your loyalty is shit because the same words they use to get you, they use it on everyone else. While you think you're the special one, while you think that you're doing the right thing, they will use it with everyone else. So as the social worker sends you emojis of hearts and all this great stuff, that social worker is doing it to someone else, telling the same parent that they're special, that she's on their side. Same thing. When you, if you're not aware, when you learn that this is all fake, your heart breaks. But then when you realize who you're dealing with, you snap out of it like that. And God already has doors lined up for you. You just need to be working on this and this because your heart can deceive you. What you feel in here can deceive you. So, what do? You need to work on that so you can be level headed. So, when you're facing trauma, when you're facing a situation that's difficult and you have children, you know how to handle it better. Take care of your health. I don't want to hear another parent dying here. I don't want to hear another parent committing suicide because the social worker told them they'll never see their children again. I don't want to hear that because the reason I'm stuck here, right, is because of you guys, because I want to make sure you guys don't lose your parental rights. I have given up a lot of opportunities, better pay, better everything. But I stuck around because I truly, with all my heart, have this passion for parents because I went through the pain that no other pain. It's like the kind of pain, like I said, that your heart disconnected from your body and placed somewhere that you cannot find. You can't find it. You're searching for it, you can't find it. The only way you'll find it is when you have your child with you. That's the only way you find your heart. When your heart is gone and you're looking for it, you can't find it. So while the narcissist is already traumatizing you, while they're already creating damage to destroy you, you become confused because you thought you were special. You're not special, but your loyalty is still there to your children or to your job or to the cause or to the school, whatever. Your loyalty is still there. So do not believe them when they say to you that your mom said, your dad said, your brother said, your sister said. Do not believe them because they're lying to you. And we become naive because we believe the same person that you thought is on your side. Work on yourselves to save your family. Be dependent on yourself. Never be dependent on someone else financially or emotionally. Never. Depend on yourself. Strengthen yourself. Work on your work on yourself where you can handle conflict better. DL said, what does that say to other people, to other parents, if they would have done nothing or everything, that outcome was still the same? They lost their children. I am going through this right now. My grandkids, for the love of my life, and I'll never see them again. And honestly, I don't want to live anymore. They were my hope, my joy, my reason for living. G, I don't know your story, baby girl, but uh, did you hire an attorney? Grandparents do have grandparents' rights. Oftentimes, people don't understand, parents, that if you lose your parental rights, your mother, the grandmother, from both sides, the family, period, don't have rights to that child. Okay. Dio said, my daughter and her fiance are devastated. We never thought this would happen. We thought we were going to get the kids back one day soon. That's what they lead you to believe. Like a narcissist, like I said, they're narcissistic, right? You could be, it doesn't matter what setting you have the narcissist, you're with that narcissist, they make you believe, literally make you believe a delusional promise. Delusional, right? They want to mislead you, thinking that there's good gonna come out of their mouth when they're telling you something good is gonna come out. When all along they're using you to mislead you so you don't see what's to come. I know it's hard for people to understand what I'm saying, but to some of you guys, you might understand. That's why I call them narcissistic system, because they will use that with every parent, every grandparent. They will say things like, if you do the classes, they will tell the grandmother that if you do the classes, if the kids do the class, and the parents do the classes, they're going to have their children back. No, but they want to mislead them so they can focus only on the classes and all that, but not know what's to come. Because if a social worker gives you the heads up, that I'm going to call them the narcissist, okay? If the narcissist gives you the heads up that, hey, we're going to remove your children, we're going to remove your child, then what? What are you guys going to do from day one? Meaning they're going to adopt that child. From day one, they tell you, this is what we're going to do. We're going to adopt that child. You guys are going to get an attorney. I don't care if you have to sell your shoes, the clothes on your back, your house, your cars. It doesn't matter. You're going to do everything to get an attorney. Think about what I just said right now. You will do everything. So that's why I call them sadistic. One step at a time, while they already knew what they're going to do with your grandchild before they removed your grandchild. What is your classes? That's what gets me. What are the classes doing when you don't have your child with you? Family reunification is about the child and the parents first. Child and the parents first. To me, what makes sense to me is that you would have a setting, right? They will fund the federal money that's supposed to be on the parent. They will go to therapy and be able to include the family therapy with the children and the parent, right? Wouldn't that be a lot better than stealing somebody's child? They can't see them for months and months, but they want them to do great in a class. Really? So if you don't see your child, you're doing great in a class. You don't know how your child is doing. You don't know how what your child is eating. You saw the last time you saw your child from a visit that the foster mom sent your child for the visit with bruises and cuts and burns and dog bites and all that. Come on, really? You want them to focus when you see all this around you? That's so stupid. DL said, I had an attorney. I must have paid 30 grand for her. She did absolutely nothing. She never fought for my daughter at all. I was saying that earlier, Dee, when I said to you guys, oftentimes you guys hire a family law attorney. Nobody knows that they need to hire a CPS defense attorney. CPS defense attorney is the most important name you need to look for. Oftentimes, when you do a Google search, you'll see that it says, which I have seen it, by the way, all of them, they say CPS defense attorney. They give you like a list of names. I called a lot of them, a lot of them. And out of 100, I get one that's a CPS defense attorney. I swear, this is not a joke. This is real talk. None of them, none of them are CPS defense attorneys except one. But then oftentimes what I hear is people, a family law attorney that never handled a CPS case before will take it on thinking it's just like family law matter. This is not family court because CPS is higher courts, DL. They're higher than family court. So if your kids, your kid, the parent had joint custody in family court, they will remove that custody from both parents. Even if one parent is the non-offending parent and that parent doesn't live with the other parent, they will still remove custody from both parents because they're going to say that the other parent failed to protect the children from that parent. Even if that parent mentioned that into family court, that parent, hey, if the mother is saying, I'm concerned about the child is being uh, abused and blah, 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 then that family court judge always does what? Ask about it. They always give joint custody. Always. Always give joint custody, even if there's a domestic violence case open against one parent. Then CPS gets involved and say that parent failed to protect the children from that parent, even though family court gives them joint custody, even when one of the parent addressed abuse in that family court. Think about what I'm telling you right now. Educate people around you. Educate your family. Educate others who have not got involved with CPS. Educate them. When you go through family court and you have custody, joint custody, and CPS becomes involved, I guarantee you 100% they're going to say that the other parent who already addressed the concerns into family court, that they failed to protect. Okay? Then the CPS workers, the investigative workers would write down on the thing, whatever, the parent failed to protect, the parent knew all along that the children were being abused and they never addressed the issue. Even though it was addressed in family court, and then you have the transcripts, you have the court declarations, you have all the filings, you have the court order, then that state judge will say, I don't care about what this order says. I don't care about this. But you little piece of crap. But you're accusing one parent of failing to protect when that parent did. It makes no sense. That's why I call them what? Narcissists. They will make you question your reality. They will make you question your own reality. That's what a narcissist is. They will never admit that they are wrong. They will never admit that they're not following their own guidebook either. They're going to turn it around, accuse the victim that it's all them and they did nothing wrong. Even when they freaking caught lying, they still convince you this is not wrong. I'm telling you guys, you need to wake up. You need to be the voice for the children. I can't be the only voice. Cynthia can't be the only voice. Every one of us have to participate into bringing awareness to all parents, ones who are with CPS cases currently and ones who are not. The ones who are not, they think the system works. They think that only parents who are bad are the ones that lose custody. What they fail to see is that CPS dismisses the real abuse, damaged kids, because they're focused on the ones that can be adopted, the ones that can be placed in permanent placement. Because when there's permanent placement, they still get that federal money coming in. When they're adopted, they get more incentives coming in. Okay? So I just hope to God I'm getting through to someone out there. DL said from the moment those kids were taken, there was never going to be giving them back to the parents. I don't know why they weren't abused or neglected ever. I believe you. I believe you. Uh, I think you meant to say disgusting. Okay. Uh, Eo said my daughter and her fiance were never included in anything. They were misled. Yep, I just said the kids were acting out. CYS said that it was because of the visits. That wasn't true. It's because they're not what their parents. Wait, they're not. Wait, what? Acting out? Oh, yeah, I get it. Yes, they're acting out because they were not with their parents. Kids act out all the time when they're not with their parents. That's just like it's just some bond. You're taking that bond. You're tearing it out. Tearing it out. Oh, and they medicate children on top of that. When the children act out because they miss mom or dad or both, they medicate them to keep them silent. And that's why the parents lose their damn mind, right? You can't function without your child. That's why I said earlier, have a setting, a therapy setting where the children and the parents are involved. Involved. That's where our federal tax money should be fucking being used on. Family. But the state divides. Their division. That's why they are sadistic, sociopathic, narcissistic assholes. And I will never change my mind about them. DL also added, we didn't know anything. Didn't know our rights, weren't told, weren't told, and nothing was explained to us. My daughter had 2 false positive that were proven false. Even the lab is corrupt. Yes, the lab is corrupt. We had attorney Okari. He is a expert witness when it comes to drugs, right? Reading the drug thing, the findings, and he said that putting the test tube in one test tube and all that, it gets, I don't know exactly what he said, but you guys should watch that. It was with attorney Okari. um, I will bring, actually I will find that for you, and it will take me some time, but I'll find it for you guys, um, and email it to you guys. If you just email me, and I will send it to you guys once I get it. This is so important for you guys to understand. Their test results is all bogus. It's fake. Fake, 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 fake. We had a mother that had a baby, and that baby, the mother gained a lot of weight, okay? And the mother kept drinking a lot of water, no joke, a lot of water. Then all of a sudden, the neighbor called the police on the mom because the baby was crying. And the neighbor can't stand children. She even told the police she doesn't have children because she hates them. The police called CPS. Now, why in the name of God would you call CPS? Because the neighbor said the baby was crying. Babies cry, dude. Babies cry. Anyways, then social workers got involved. They had her do a drug test. She said, okay, no problem. I have nothing to hide. Very innocent mom. Her and her husband are wonderful father and mother. Okay. They both did a drug test. Business people, corporate America, false negative. I mean, false positive. And they said, huh, you so and so are doing drugs. But what? Both parents drink water. So when you drink a lot of water, your pee is diluted, your urine is diluted. So when your urine is diluted, they say it's a false positive because in their little PD, little narcissistic, sociopathic, I don't even think they have a brain cells. I think they just have soup. Soup. Not even soup, seasoned soup. They have like dog soup. Okay? In their head, they think you guys they're doing drugs because it's diluted. When in fact they're not. There is so much you guys don't understand. When a sadistic narcissist wants your ass, wants your children, they will do everything in their power to get what they want. That's why I said smart up, learn, educate yourselves. You're not delusional. You're not dealing with their chaos. They just want you to question your own reality to make you think you're crazy. Remember that. Even with facts, 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 they still make you question your reality because they will inflict trauma purposely to get parents to react to their bullshit. Okay? That's why I said smart up. The state gives $35,000 for every kid adopted. That's why the do not, I guess, give the kids back to the parents. That is correct. I don't know about, wait a minute. I don't know about the 35,000. I thought it was overall, they did a study and it was $1 million a year for a child. That's what I read. Um, Even the hospitals, that's right, Caroline, that is very true. The hospitals have, I'm not saying all of them, because Stacy is a wonderful physician assistant, and you guys know who Stacy is. She's not like that. But there are some people. Remember, narcissist is not everybody. There's some, maybe most people are nowadays, but some are good people, right? Oftentimes, there are nurses that work in the hospital, for example, and they have a sister or a sister in law or a friend who is a social worker. And some of them are like close in contact with supervisors who are social workers. What happens is when a mother goes to the hospital and delivers a child, that mother is always asked questions, especially if that mother's on Medi-Cal or Medicare. You get a nurse look-alike asking you questions. Miss So and so, and they would have a board like this. They will have like a board. I've seen a lot of videos, you guys. Miss So and so, can you afford diapers right now? Can you afford formula right now? Are you thinking about going to work soon? If so, who's going to take care of the baby? Do you have support? All these questions. I swear I'm not joking. Then the mother, with all mixed emotions, would say things like, no, I have no support. I can't stand my mom. My mom used to abuse me, and my dad died, and my sister is a bitch from hell. And you know what? No, I can't afford. Right away, you're giving them way too much control over you. They already know now. They know everything now. Then they will go and say, no, she can't. She can't afford that. She can't afford anything. Doubt if she can afford an attorney. And then they steal your child, your baby, saying, oh, there was drugs found in the system. But you're like, wait a minute now, but the doctor said everything looks great. Where did you find the drugs? Oh, we can't talk to you. You're not part of the case. But I'm the grandmother. Where did you find the drugs? When? How? I've been here with my daughter the whole entire birth. They will make up stories, create their own delusional assumptions of you, write it down, and the stupid judges out there would read it and say, this is true. And then they give you a court appointed attorney that doesn't know shit about shit, doesn't speak up, doesn't submit evidence, especially when the case is brand new. Why can't you submit evidence? Oh, I don't think that's going to help your case. That's not true. That's not true. That's bullshit. But again, a narcissist will make you question your reality. So keep in mind, evidence when the case is open is so important to have. Okay? If your case is old, meaning you waited until you're going to TPR stage of your case, then guess what's going to happen? It's too late now to submit those evidence into court that should have been submitted a long time ago. So Davis always says there are stages of the case. There are stages. The attorney knows when he or she needs to file certain papers, certain petitions. Okay, certain motions. When and where and how. I mean, so that's why I said make sure you have a CPS defense attorney. Believe me, do not deal with the court appointed attorneys. Do not, I'm begging you, do not deal with the court appointed attorneys. I don't care if somebody came to you and said, they said that this friend of mine or this lady in court, this mother said her court appointed attorney helped her. Well, I don't know what to tell you. I don't trust them. I will never trust them. Never. Um, they don't listen to our voice. I told CYS that the other grandfather physically abused the grandson. They didn't care. When you tell an abuser, a narcissist, that the other person is the abuser, who do you think they're going to put the child with? I want you to answer that. They sent my grandbaby the hospital, the hospital for forensic examination, and they lied on the. Yep, yep, yep. Buying and selling of children, money in adoption. These kids are traumatized and devastated. The parents weren't allowed to talk to their kids about why they aren't at home anymore. Exactly. You know why they don't want you guys to talk to the kids about what's going on? Because they, especially you're coming home soon part, because the narcissistic system wants to tell your child when the right time comes is that you didn't want to visit them. That adds on to more trauma a child's brain cannot handle, right? Because all the child knows is that mommy and daddy. That's mommy and daddy. Can't handle it. That's why they silence the parents and say, you can't discuss this, you can't discuss this, and you have a monitor. This bitch has never lived with you, right? All of a sudden she has something to say. You can't hold the baby. You can't touch the baby. You can't feed the baby like that. Like what? Yeah. There is a mother that it's just her. Oh my god, I couldn't sleep thinking about her. What happened was, and this is, guys, listen to this, okay? When she had the baby, it was her and her husband were trying for a long time to have a baby. Long time. Then she became pregnant, and it was a miracle. She gave birth to two twins. It was a boy and a girl. Her husband was so happy. He told me it was very rare because nobody in the family had twins. I've known other clients we have that had twins, and a boy and a girl also, but they were shocked because um, nobody in the family had, like her side of the family, had ever had twins. So one of the nurses, you know, I guess reported something, and they kept the boy. They give the boy to the mom and the dad, but they kept the girl and put the girl in an adoptive foster home. And the social worker told them that as long as they have one, they should be happy. Guys, this is true. I cry a lot at night knowing what I know. So I immediately contacted one of the girls who her and I are close. She used to work for Department of Children and Family Services in Sacramento area. She resigned after over a year working with them because she saw the corruption. I asked her, what should they do? She said, most likely that baby girl, one of the twins, is needed in a foster adoptive foster home. And lo and behold, I called the parents back, spoke to the dad because the mom is literally traumatized. Traumatized, not eating, not drinking, not. Then I told the dad. The dad went away, said, "This is it. They're gonna adopt my baby girl." Then in the court documents, the social worker wrote that the child can't eat. The child is always crying, and they blamed it on the mom. But then, if it's the mom's fault and the dad, why did you give them the boy? These are twins. When a baby is removed from the mom, that baby knows the mother. The baby knows that's their mom. They need their mom. I'm telling you guys this because I want you guys to be aware. You are not special to them. You need to be smart. And I know that so many people out there think you guys are great parents. Yes, I know. I'm not doubting it. I really am not doubting it. But remember, they're sadistic. And I don't want you guys to get hurt. The ones who don't have CPS cases or the ones who just had an open case or whatever the case may be, you have to please educate yourselves. Please educate yourselves. Caroline said, yep, a couple down here did the same thing. Yep, it happens everywhere, Caroline. That's why I said we're living among sociopathic, narcissistic buffoons. We will work, some people work with them, some people marry them, some people friend them. I mean, you never know, babe. You never know. Let's see. DL said, CYS said that the 3-year-old needed medication, said ADHD. My daughter didn't want that. Her didn't want that. Her daughter was too young. Medical neglect. She's acting out because she's not with her parents. She's not. This is exactly why. When I tell you guys that I love children, I love them so much. It's because they're so innocent. They can't defend themselves and they're being forced. That's why I asked you guys to please bring awareness. Please. CYS said that the 3-year-old needed medication. Said 80. Oh, yeah, I read that. I'm so tired right now. Caroline said, I am so sorry. I am furious too much. It needs to stop. I wish I could eliminate all narcissists from the world, but I can't. It is the foster adopted mother's problem. Exactly. But they always blame. Remember, I said earlier in the show, a narcissist will always gaslight you and always use you. You don't know what they're telling the foster mom. Believe me, you don't know. You don't have no idea what they're saying to the foster mom. You don't know. You don't know. Whatever they're saying about the foster mom to you, they're saying far worse about you to her. Okay? Yes, the same thing is happening to me. See, you guys, I interact with so many cases, and I can't even sleep at night like I used to. At least I used to get 3 hours of sleep. Now I just find myself thinking about everyone I speak with. Uh, Dio said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. This is so wrong to separate families. Everything the kids know and love is gone." Exactly, and they medicate them. Just medicate them. That's all they do. Medicate the children. Um, that's why I said I'm asking you guys to please bring awareness. If you have a conflict, hard-headed grandma and grandpa that they believe the social worker or an aunt or an uncle or a niece or whoever, please have them call me. I'm begging you, just have them call me. I'll explain it to them. This has nothing to do with you hiring the firm. This has a lot to do with saving your child. So I'm asking you to have them call me. I'll explain it. You can share it, share anything with them. And if they need clarification, I can speak with them. There are good CPS defense attorneys. You guys just have to find them. Okay? There are good ones. But you guys have to make sure they've been doing it for a very long time and they know what they're doing. And you also have to make sure that they understand how to handle a narcissist. There's so much you guys don't know what goes on in the courtroom. It's like a kangaroo circus there. It will make you lost. And this is not without popcorn, by the way. Okay? They finally let me have supervised visitations with my grandkids if I drop my custody case. What? Wait. They finally let me have supervised visitation with my grandkids if I drop my custody case. But why are they insisting on letting her adopt them? If they promise you that, that's a lie. You need it in writing. That's something. I don't know if it was you, Caroline, that I spoke with, but somebody else spoke to me about the same exact thing. And they did drop, yeah, they did drop the case. And then the grandmother was not able to visit with the grandchild. That wasn't you, it was someone else, but don't believe them. Don't believe them. That was you? But wait a minute. There was someone that I spoke with where they didn't, after what they said, promised the grandmother, was that you? And then at the end, the grandmother discovered that they did not keep their word. Was that you, Caroline? I did have two visits. No, okay, but was it you that told me that the workers did not keep their word and that you could not see your grandkids after that? Was that you or someone else? Because I know you guys use different names on the shows. No, okay, it was someone else. But you have to have it in writing. I don't. I used to believe people. I used to take people's word as their honor, right? Their honor. But that's because if I give you my word, I'm going to do it. You think everybody else has that, but it's not true. Like I said, that's why the system is narcissistic because a narcissist word, well, we all know what that is. But I did call and talk to you. Okay, then. Okay, got it. But wasn't me. They did that too. Thank God. Okay. But again, make sure you have it in writing. Okay. And I'm gonna end the show now, guys. And I just want to say, lawyer up, smart up, uh, knowledge up as well, and work on your emotions, especially when you're dealing with conflict. They said my three kids have a ADHD and they want to. Unbelievable. Yes, now that we had the meeting today, now he wants to change it and write up a new. See what I mean? I just finished saying it. Caroline, I told you. They, oh my God, they don't, you can't take the word of a narcissist. To me, if a narcissist actually follows their promise, I would probably have a stroke. I'm not joking. I would probably like, I'd be like, I think my heart cannot take it because I know they don't. They never follow through what they say, ever. It took me years, years to understand that. They never follow through. It's empty promises, empty delusional promises to get you to think they're going to do what they say. But what they want you to do is what? Submit to them. Submission so they can get complete control over you. I am, Caroline said, like I said, the only reason why I did it is because my court case is not for a whole another year. Beber said, yeah, they are two faced. Yep, they are two faced, guys. They really are two faced. So I have another show tomorrow. You're more than welcome to join me. It's at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's Relatives Fight CPS. Now, if you guys have a relative who is hard headed or who believes CPS or have any questions, they are more than welcome to be on my show. Just have them contact me. You could call the 888 number and ask for me. Try to have a good day. I will be there watching. Thank you, Caroline. All right. See you guys tomorrow, God willing. Again, it's at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's Relatives Fight CPS. Please, please, please include relatives. You guys, if you have any relatives and other people too that have relatives, have them watch the show. And if you guys have any questions, you can always address it on the uh, comment section. Okay? God bless you all. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.